Hello, all of you. I hope all of you are doing well and are on the war footing for the preparation of your upcoming main examination. As I have always maintained, you must not wait for the prelims results to be declared and get on to the preparation of main examination. Yojana and Kurukshetra, the publication divisions magazines, are very crucial support in the content building of our syllabus, not just for the geography optional, but also general studies. And that is the reason we have started a dedicated series of the videos that aims at helping you in analyzing and taking out the relevant information from these two humble but excellent sources of information magazines. And in the continuation of the same, I want to dedicate this video to the October 2020 magazine Kurukshetra, which is essentially talking about water conservation and sanitation. As we are aware of the fact that India accounts for approximate 4% of the global fresh water, which makes India excellent case of richly endowed with this precious natural resource. However, India is reeling under acute nature of water stress, and that is the reason water conservation strategy is important, essential for any sort of economic planning required in the country. And from that perspective, we want to take the article published in Kurukshetra. It is the first article. It is entitled Water Conservation, the Initiatives and the Future Strategies. We can easily demarcate it as a point of question. Now, first and foremost thing that comes up into our consideration is why India needs water conservation. Why I need to have water conservation strategies in the country, and then which are the important measures that we have taken so far, and what are the relevance of those measures in terms of their interrelation and in terms of their differences, and why these measures are still not sufficient and India need to mobilize a futuristic way forward towards generating favorable strategy towards water resource management. Now, before I pick up the points that is mentioned in this article, I want you to see this infographic and then we'll be proceeding further with our reference. So the question that we can start asking is, why India needs water conservation strategy? India needs water conservation because 54% of the country faces high to extremely high water. India is not the example of water scarce country, but India is evolving to be a significant example of water stressed country. And what are the causes of these water stress that we take into account? So the causes of water stress is essentially two. Number one is unsustainable use of water, and number two is inequality in distribution. And mind it, when I talk about inequality in distribution, I'm taking it in reference to both space and time. Like if I ask you to take example to make sense with the space and time in unequal distribution, I'm essentially talking about Assam will always be water surplus state. Rajasthan will always be water deficit state. So when I say unequal distribution in space, I'm comparing, say, northeastern states with western Rajasthan. And when I say time, then India is an excellent example of monsoonal climate. And because it is monsoonal climatic country, it is water surplus for 3 to 4 months of the year and remains water deficit in the major part of the year. So the stress condition of water for the country which is accounting for 4% of global fresh water is essentially due to the fact that India has been in unsustainable use of water resource and there is inequality in the distribution of water. Going to Kurukshetra article. If I try to see the beginning of this article, it essentially talks about the reference of hard times that India is reeling under because of the water scarcity and poor sanitation facility, evolving as bigger challenge than economic development. And to prove it, there are certain facts which are given. These facts can be taken into consideration to make your answer sound logical and heavy. Like we can take the reference of country generating 140 billion cubic meter of wastewater annually, mismanagement of wastewater, contaminates groundwater, lacking liquid waste management, poor sanitation condition, poor hygiene habit contributes to major populations suffering from waterborne diseases. So it is not just about getting scared or stressed with water resource. It is that in the absence of water resource management, it is a range of sanitation and health related challenges that have actually evolved in the country. And it has evolved to be much more gigantic than the concern that correlates with economic development. Because right now we all are aware of the fact that the pandemic have actually put on a very massive break to the overall economic activity. More examples are being applied here. Unsafe water, sanitation, and hand washing are responsible for 4.6% of disease burden. Another example that has been cited here to prove that how it is that sanitation and water is creating the challenge which is higher than economic development is what I have underlined here. So the facts are being given to justify the status, which I already added with the map of India, which justifies that maximum of our land area is suffering from water stressed characteristics. Then the second thing that I see from this write-up is the constitution provision. So as per Indian constitution, we all are aware of water and sanitation are state subjects. So automatically all the planning, funding, implementation of water and sanitation projects lies primarily with the state government, and union government plays only the advisory role. Now the facts with which this article begins and the provision of the constitution that it gives us, in spite of the constitutional provision, several initiatives has been taken up by union government in the recent past. So somewhere not just create awareness, but also generate a coordinated water resource management purview. So union government initiatives incorporate Jal Jeevan Mission. Ministry of Jal Shakti launched Jal Shakti Abhiyan, and the groundwater exceeding the average annual recharge have resulted into the mobilization of Atal Bhujal Yojana. Union government initiatives oriented towards water resource management and conservation to minimize the waterborne diseases and facilitating the way out to generate water stressed conditions becoming water favorable conditions. There are certain important new factors that has been mobilized. With support of infographics, we are trying to make sense with each one of them. So first we take up is Jal Jeevan Mission. Second we pick up as Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Third is Atal Bhujal Yojana. And then we'll take the reference of the other programs which is mentioned in the following page. So getting on to certain infographics sourced from Press Information Bureau. So union government initiative called Jal Jeevan Mission involves 4-point dimensions of its functioning. It is the quad section with which it is marking up its objective and functioning. So the first and the foremost for it is availing piped water supply to all rural households by 2024. So the objective here is to facilitate drinking water supplies to the rural household. That is very important factor. The second aspect that is correlated with it is integrated demand and supply side management of water at local level. You all must be aware of the fact that the water has been part and parcel of rural development strategy, not just under IRDP, Integrated Rural Development Program, but also Bharat Nirman. And it has always been demand driven. So the Jal Jeevan Mission is also oriented towards demand driven. It is demand-driven mobilization of water supplies to the rural household as objective number 2. Objective number 3 is to facilitate convergence of central and state government schemes so that there is no sort of contradiction or overlap. It's a very important thing that comes up here. Both proves to be detrimental. So Jal Jeevan Mission attempts at generating coordination between the union and the state government to facilitate more swift and time-bound manner objective fulfillment. And finally, when I take up this and pick up the D aspect, creation of local infrastructure for rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge, management of household wastewater for reuse in agriculture. So it is local infrastructure development. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act involves several permissible activities, and among the permissible activity, water management infrastructure at local level is a significant part. So Jal Jeevan Mission aims at providing piped drinking water to all rural households by 2024. In order to fulfill this objective, the different other objectives that have been thus mobilized is a demand-driven approach, coordinated approach between union and state governments, and also creation of local infrastructure, grassroots participation for rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge, and of course, utilization of wastewater in the agricultural use. This is Jal Jeevan Mission. And if I go to Kurukshetra to identify the information mentioned there, launched on August 2019, supply piped water to every rural household, adequate quantity of prescribed quality on regular and long-term basis at affordable service delivery charges. The program also implements source sustainability measures, recharge, reuse, water conservation with rainwater harvesting. And you can see it also talks about the program also implements source sustainable measures. As we have seen in the infographic, it talks about recharge, reuse, and the water management with water conservation and rainwater harvest. What is very pleasing thing that I can read out from here is, since the inception of Jal Jeevan Mission, the percentage of rural household having availability of safe drinking water have increased from 18% to 28.41%. Otherwise, with infographic, it becomes easier. Which are the four components that marks up the objective of Jal Jeevan Mission? So, Jal Jeevan Mission incorporates piped water supplies to rural household with a demand-driven objective of mobilizing water resource, integration of state and union government functioning, so that we avoid any sort of contradiction which is unlikely to be there, and overlaps, because overlaps will be reducing the efficient use of available assets with us. And also it talks about local infrastructure development for rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge, or less waste of water, the household wastewater to be reutilized in the agricultural. Program number 2, Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Now it aims at, so I put on a star mark to this, it aims at making water conservation a Jan Andolan. And it automatically talks about what we can easily pick up as participatory water resource management strategy. Now, what is the point where I can easily make the difference between Jal Jeevan Mission and Jal Shakti Abhiyan is right here. So, I'm again putting on a star mark to it. The campaign is to cover both rural and urban areas, unlike Jal Jeevan, where we essentially talked about rural areas only. What is the focus area that comes up with Jal Shakti Abhiyan, program number 2, that is mobilized by union government in the water conservation strategy? So with again this infographic, the things becomes easier. So first focus area is water conservation and rainwater harvest. Second focus area is renovation of traditional and other water bodies and tanks. Renovation which has depleted, which is now not in use, we are willing to utilize that. And in the continuity of it, we have got reuse of the borewell and recharge structures, which is again important factor for us to apply. It is intensive afforestation. Minded, this intensive afforestation is considered to be the example that is related to bio drainage, and it also aims at watershed development. I'll be explaining it just in a while, so I'm putting on a plus mark to it. Intensive afforestation in the catchment area. Intensive afforestation will facilitate two things. Number one, it will ensure that the rainwater is percolating and is not getting washed off, because roots of the plants tends to bind the soil and facilitate the blockage of the running rainwater. reuse of the bore well or recharge structure, renovation of traditional water bodies and tanks is basically to revive water harvesting techniques at the grassroots level. So if you try to see A, B, and C, I'm essentially talking about what is part and parcel of Jal Jeevan Mission also, where we are talking about participatory development, where we are talking about rainwater harvesting technique. But what makes up an important or broader perspective is bio drainage, afforestation, and watershed management. So, high level teams constituted in 256 districts and technical staff placed at blocks to take stock of groundwater levels, state of aquifer, ponds, and water bodies. So, under Jal Shakti Abhiyan, we are also creating the observation of database for water resources. So, Jal Shakti Abhiyan is the campaign that covers both rural and urban areas. Number two, it aims at creating the database of all the water resources that we are having. It is without any doubt being mobilized as participatory water conservation. What are the focus areas of it? The focus area of this program includes 5 factors. Watershed development is also the constituent that is identified with Jal Shakti Abhiyan. And watershed management makes it area development because when I mention integrated watershed management, I take into consideration 3 aspects with substantive overlaps, and each of these aspects justifies multi-dimensional nature of watershed management. It incorporates economic, societal, and environmental concerns. And if you just try to see the list of the components that are being there, so manufacturing, agriculture, hydel power, transportation, forestry, tourism. And that is the reason I said that if Jal Shakti Abhiyan, the Jan Andolan, is oriented towards conservation of water resources and it is applied to both rural and urban area, it is actually aiming at economic development, environmental sustainability, and societal component also, like drinking water, flood risk abatement, recreation, waste management, land use. And if we are taking the reference of recreation and waste management, by default we'll be overlapping it with environment, water quality, pollution abatement. And then we have got biodiversity, aquatic habitat, geology, climate change as the other factors. So integrated watershed management makes the things much more broader and much more overlapping, diverse and fruitful. Among the 2 programs that we have the mention of this article that we are trying to learn, Jal Jeevan Mission and Jal Shakti Abhiyan, no denial to the fact that Jal Shakti Abhiyan involves complete rural and urban areas, and because it is involving complete rural and urban areas, it is much broader than Jal Jeevan Mission. And second thing, that it is integrative of bio drainage along with watershed management. So it do incorporate the components of Jal Jeevan Mission, but it is much more broader compared. Right up of Kurukshetra. So the Jal Shakti Mantralaya that launched the Jal Shakti Abhiyan in July 2019 in 256 water stressed districts across the country. This Abhiyan is mass movement, we have already talked about. 6.5 crore people became part of it, comprising state government, central government, civil society organization, Panchayati Raj and communities. It is basically a Jan Andolan which has been successfully implemented. This level of participation proves that it has actually justifies itself to be a Jan Andolan. And then we are taking the reference of it. The Jal Shakti Abhiyan is geared up to combat current health emergency by focusing more on irrigation and water conservation work, with the caution that all works are undertaken with strict implementation of social distancing. So a new dimension adding a plus sign to it in the present pandemic that has been taken into. And you have already seen the infographic, so you can see tanks are getting renovated, rainwater harvesting structure are getting created. So it automatically comes up with the reference of the different dimensions of the program. 5 focus area for Jal Shakti Abhiyan, and these 5 focus area do have its overlap with And if I ask you to see both of them together, these focus area has got its overlap with Jal Jeevan Mission. However, Jal Jeevan Mission is essentially for rural areas and Jal Shakti Abhiyan is for all rural and urban areas. And if I take up the program number 3, and that is Atal Bhujal Yojana, I need to understand that whether it is Jal Jeevan Mission or Jal Shakti Abhiyan, groundwater is part and parcel of the water resource planning. Atal Bhujal Yojana, Bhujal is groundwater, is by default a dedicated program towards groundwater conservation. And if I slightly zoom it, so widespread decline of the water tables, A, degradation of resource manifested through contamination of heavy metals, B, have resulted into special focus given to groundwater conservation, and thus Atal Bhujal Yojana. And Atal Bhujal Yojana aims at sustainable groundwater management mainly through convergence among various ongoing schemes. The Atal Bhujal Yojana, a unique centrally sponsored scheme which will endeavor. The Atal Bhujal Yojana is a unique centrally sponsored scheme which will facilitate efficient implementation and convergence of ongoing central and state schemes. Drought proofing, climate resilience, creating better job opportunities are the important aspects that are being correlated to it. So do apply Atal Bhujal Yojana is integration of all ongoing programs. So it is a center sponsored program which is trying to integrate all the ongoing programs with water resource management, conservation, drought proofing, climate resilience, because climate change is real for us. And when it comes on to the climate resilience development, what makes climate resilience an important constituent is essentially the fact that water is one of the most prominent constituent that has got to and fro relation with changing climate. So climate resilience is an important factor. Job creation by default, because when we talk about environmental sustainability, there is a range of green jobs creation. These are the 3 programs that is mentioned in the beginning of this article that we are taking into reference. Jal Jeevan Mission, drinking water, water supplies, piped water supplies to the rural household. Jal Shakti Abhiyan, the Jan Andolan for rural and urban areas. And Atal Bhujal Yojana, dedicated program oriented towards groundwater conservation in terms of both quality and quantity management, right? And then we have got composite water management. Number 4, Niti Aayog's Water Management Index codes states on 9 indicators, which includes restoration of water bodies, groundwater, irrigation practices, sustainable farming, rural-urban water supply, and policy and governance. Are you noticing that composite water management index is actually integrative of Jal Jeevan Mission? It is Jal Shakti Abhiyan. It can also be taken up as Atal Bhujal Yojana, Comprehensive Water Management Index. The 9 indicators which talks about restoration, groundwater, irrigation practices is arranging performers and non-performers. There are many favorable examples that have evolved, and that is the reason we are taking reference of this infographics. But more important that I want you to take up here is 16 of the 27 states studied scored below 50 on this index. So it's a challenge number 1. I'm picking up negative factor A. These 16 states account for 48% of the total population of the country and is accounting for 36% of the national economic output. So the scenario is continuing to be grim. And when I take up the high performing regions, which is shaded as blue in this map, you can easily identify Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Goa are the examples that are high performing. So there are positive outcomes, and the positive outcomes can be referred here. Like in the indicators for groundwater over exploitation and recharging, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu along with Himachal Pradesh, have shown substantial growth. They have been the best performers. So you can take a preference of the positive outcome. So results are getting yielded. And if I just try to take up the reference of other two indicators where results have been applied, so it is in the urban areas, availability of water in urban areas, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Goa, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand have achieved the highest score. And the third indicator that you can take up here is in the treating of wastewater, Haryana has top score. So there is a positive outcome without any doubt. 9 indicators categorizing states into 3 categories: high, medium and low performing. Low performing states are still the states that are reeling under the challenge, and we can see that the low performing states, which includes, if I just randomly count them up, it is including states that are accounting for 48% of country's population. In the bottom slot, you can easily apply Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan. They are the important examples. We can take support of this infographic, which is coming from Niti Aayog, because the Composite Water Management Index second continues to divide the concerned states and union territories into 3 blocks: non-Himalayan, northeastern and Himalayan, and union territories. And you can have that best performers in non-Himalayan as Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh. In northeastern and Himalayan, it is Himachal Pradesh that is the best performer. Jharkhand is the poorest performer when it comes to non-Himalayan region, and Delhi is the poorest performer of union territories. So result is there, but it's a mixed bag. Going to the page of Kurukshetra. The Comprehensive Water Management Index comprises of 9 broad sectors with 28 different key performance indicators, which covers all the aspects of groundwater, restoration of water bodies, irrigation, farm practices, drinking water policy, governance. We have already taken that into account. Since launch of round 1 of index, 80% of the states have shown improvement in their average changes of score. So we are yielding results. Compared to first round and second round, we are having 80% of states showing positive improvement in the scores. Besides these central government initiatives, states have also initiated state-level program to solve water resource problems. The Jal Yukt Shivar in Maharashtra, Mukhyamantri Jal Swavalamban Abhiyan in Rajasthan, Mission Kakatiya in Telangana, Integrated Water Resource Management and Artificial Recharge Structure Scheme of Karnataka. These are the important examples that have been mobilized by state government as mentioned in this article. So we can take up the reference of these as our important cases where there has been individual state government's initiative targeting something that is specifically required for that state. Number 6, apart from these, there are some states which have deciphered the use of technology in water sector. The most striking work in this domain is done by Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. The Water Resource Department of Government of Andhra Pradesh along with private partner have developed Andhra Pradesh Water Resource Information and Management System. It is a smart water solution platform targeting overarching objective of sustainable water management in the state. And such innovative technique have also been mobilized by Maharashtra. So, these specific conditions or programs that are being mentioned, these can be the case studies that you can easily mention. Otherwise, which are the prominent programs that takes up the centrality in water conservation is the center government programs along with some of the programs of the state governments that you can take up into reference. This real-time observation, mobilization of water entitlement transfer and wastewater reuse certificates are the case studies that can be added in our answer. The article also talks about way forward, things that are not being targeted as yet and we must work towards targeting it. Making water as a part of economic development, which is strongly justified with increasing the budget allocation to water and sanitation sector along with agriculture, manufacturing and services. So in economic development, water should not be taken as by default. There must be some dedicated allocation that surely is going to help up with introduction of water markets at large scale. The most successful water markets are found in Murray-Darling Basin in Australia, where water trading has become a vital business tool and source additional income for many irrigators. Underwater markets during the year, water is distributed by the basin authorities or allocated against entitlement in response to the factors such as rainfall, storage level. Such type of water market, we automatically will generate more water efficient. When the water is allocated to the entitlement holder, they are able to use it as per their requirement, and by default, because a price tag is attached to it, so it is automatically going to enhance water use efficiency. So we are trying to generate the mobilization of water markets. So within the catchment area or between the catchment area, by default, it is going to increase the water efficiency. Quite futuristic purview, but is likely possible. Australia is example where it has been successfully. It also suggests pollution tax as a remedy to decrease pollution of water bodies. Central Pollution Control Board gives us the reference of EIA notification with Charter on Corporate Responsibility on Environmental Pollution. We can easily take up the reference of that in large. Introduction of predetermined water pollution charges for surface and groundwater use or charges of wastewater discharge could have a significant incentive effect to prevent and control pollution. Because if there will be such tax, automatically there will be more awareness and more central participation of the people. It also suggests new strategies to support public-private partnership in water sector. So it talks about government may consider providing risk mitigation to long-term investment projects where it would result in more appropriate allocation of risk and associated returns. It also talks about public money can be used to cover part of risk that the private financiers are unable to take. Because when we talk about water resource management, the gestation period is very long. And because the gestation period is high and the remunerative purview is less, it is like risk involved is very high. Water rights recognition. Have you ever wondered that in our country, we do have a sale purchase of land, and as soon as I acquire certain land area, I automatically become the owner of the groundwater of that land area. There is no defined ownership, there is no defined water rights, and that is the reason by default kind of rights that comes in makes people less responsible towards this prized asset. In the way forward, we certainly can incorporate more defining norms of water rights, that acquiring land should not make an individual, group of individual, public participant or even private participant by default getting entitlement to it. What are the causes of water resource challenges in India? Outline the ways to overcome them. Why India is water stressed country. Examine the requirement of multiple government policies for water resource management. Examine how watershed management can be all inclusive water resource management program in India. If we just randomly try to pick up certain questions that can be framed up from this article that we have just tried to cover, what are the causes of water resource challenges in India? So I start with the answer saying causes. So causes is inequality of distribution, causes is unsustainable usage, cause is absence of clear water right, and also absence of participatory and coordinated development. We have learned all of them. Outline the ways to overcome them. So when I say what are the ways by which we are trying to overcome them, 1, 2, 3, 4 list is not required here, but creating awareness among the people that there is problem of water. So you can start your answer, part 2, outline the ways to overcome them. So ways to overcome them is number 1, to generate the data table which is oriented towards creating awareness. So first is to create awareness, and creation of awareness I can easily take support of what I have learned with Comprehensive Water Management Index 2, that there are many ways that different states of our country are still required to overcome the water related challenges. So first, to create awareness, you can take up the Niti Aayog's Central Water the composite water management index, and then you can talk about the mobilization of different programs. And when I talk about different programs, you are talking about Jal Shakti, Jal Jeevan Mission, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, and you are also talking about Atal Bhujal Yojana. Why India is water stressed country? Again, the same thing. This factor will be repeated here. And then examine the requirement of multiple government policies for water resource management. Multiple because we are serving different purposes. So when I say that it is the program of Atal Bhujal Yojana, it is about groundwater. When I say Jal Shakti Abhiyan, it is Jan Andolan, participatory, holistic development, inclusive of watershed, bio drainage. So you can take up that there. And Jal Jeevan Mission, it is about rural water supplies fulfillment. So multiple government policy is required because we have got multiple challenges. And the last question that I have framed, examine how watershed management can be all-inclusive water resource management. So please recall the overlapping Venn diagram that I showed you. Integrated watershed management, year 2009-10, integrated watershed management program actually included desert development, drought-prone development, and wasteland development. What makes it all inclusive? That it is talking about environment, economy, society, and these three factors gives me the overlapping purview that comes up with two defined categories of the programs. Which are the programs that we take into reference? It is socio-economic, it is the economic and technological. You apply all of them together. So try to chart out such type of questions and demarcate out the answer to them. It will help you out with the understanding of the things. So you must take care of how to go about in utilizing the art. So the magazine, which is entitled as Water Resource Management and Conservation, you need to be very cautious with the fact that water is one of the most prized natural asset. And India, like country, which is reeling under the sustainable development goal fulfillment, because scarcity of water is not just related to scarcity of sanitation and waterborne diseases, how the article marks up its beginning with. It is also related to big risk, political risk, river water sharing. It is energy security risk because we do have got our dependency on the hydel power plant in the electricity supply. Agriculture, industry, precisely every other thing, rural development, urban development, all is dependent on water. So water, without any doubt, makes up a crucial point. I hope it is going to help you out with your preparation and reading comprehension of the article. That is it from my side for today. Do read the article with the reference. Bye-bye.